All right, we will call the regular council meeting to order for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. As we gather, we are reminded that the town of Bonnyville is situated on Treaty 6 land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and is the traditional homeland and home to First Nation and Métis people today. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nation, Métis, and all First People of Canada whose presence continues to enrich our community. Before I start, I just want to confirm with Councillor Schroon and Councillor Blanchette, how will you be voting? Will you just wave or thumbs up? Okay. All right. So I think I have my councillors here. They'll help me monitor the screen. Thank you. All right. Before us, we have an agenda. Were there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Nothing from administration, Your Worship.
All right. Thank you. Motion to accept the agenda, please, as presented. Councillor Kushner.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I would make a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Next, we have the meeting minutes from February 27th. Were there any additions or deletions? Seeing none. Councillor McAvoy?
Seeing no mistakes, I will move adoption of the minutes of the last meeting.
Okay. All in favor? That's carried. All right. First up, under new business, we are appointing a new deputy mayor for March 16th to December 31st, 2024. Councillor Byron Johnson. I guess first I should thank Councillor Neil Langridge for his service the last 8 months. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Councillor. This is something I get to do every 8 months or so during a council term, so it gives me great pleasure to officially swear you in as our upcoming incoming deputy mayor. If you would, sir, please place your hand on the Bible and declare the following oath.
I, Byron Johnson, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of deputy mayor for the town of Bonnyville.
Congratulations, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, sir. Please. Very good. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome aboard, Deputy Mayor Johnson. Okay, next we have the request for letter of financial commitment from the Bonnyville Junior A Pontiacs.
Madam Mayor,
Madam Mayor.
Go ahead.
I'm going to excuse myself from this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to speak to it. So I was like, wow.
Okay, thank you. The town received a letter from Ron Rusnick, president of the Bonnyville Junior A Pontiacs, requesting a letter of financial commitment in their bid to host the 2025 National Junior A Championship. The Pontiacs organization is in the process of rebidding to become the host community, as the previously awarded community is one of the departing teams from the AJHL. Should the bid be successful, the Pontiacs are requesting a financial commitment from the town in the amount of $175,000 plus half of the cost of the Centennial Center for the 11-day tournament, which is estimated at $38,500, for a total financial commitment of $213,500. The tournament is scheduled for May 8th to the 18th, 2025, and would bring 10 Junior A teams to the community along with their fans and supporters for the 11-day period. The bid package also puts a large emphasis on the creation of a legacy project that will contribute 50% of any legacy funds back to the C2 to help update the R.J. Lalonde Arena should the bid be successful. The town provided a letter of financial commitment for the original bid package in 2023 for the same amount. Administration is recommending that Council approve a letter of financial commitment in the amount of $175,000 plus half of the facility costs, estimated at $38,500, for a total estimated commitment of $213,500 to be included in the 2025 budget, to be funded from any surplus from 2024 or the general operating reserve.
All right, thank you, Renee. Are there any questions for administration?
I just have a comment. I was strongly in favor of this before when it came to council, a couple of years ago. I continue to be in favor of it. It's a great opportunity for the region to showcase nationally, so I would have no problem making this motion. It fits into our strategic plan, fits into the sports tourism committee we got going, and to the strategic plan of the C2 as well. So I would be happy to put forward this motion.
Councillor Kushner?
Yeah, just one more comment on that. Good to see the prices haven't went up from the last time, so we're doing the same amount that we did the last time. But the second part about it is the economic development spin-off from this, I think, and the PR that the town would get, public relations for this, is invaluable. You know, to have that tournament in this town with the TV exposure that we're going to be getting, it's well worth the money, never mind the prestige of hosting the event.
This is the third time that if we were awarded this event, that it would be coming to Bonnyville, that's correct? Third.
No.
No?
This would be the first.
Oh, what was the other two? Oh, the other ones were world champions.
World Junior A Challenge was previously twice. We hosted once, and I believe they came back to us to put in a bid again. So being that we bid on this and a couple of teams have backed out of Hockey Canada and the AJHL, we were third in line for this. So I really hope that they give us a good look, and I know we're up to the challenge and would do a good job for them. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Byron. All right, if there's no other questions or comments, I will give you the floor for a motion.
Yep. I would make the motion that we provide a letter of financial commitment to the amount of $175,000 plus half of the facility costs, estimated to be $38,500, for a total of commitment of $213,500 to be included in the 2025 budget, to be funded from any surplus from 2024 or the general operating reserve.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Somebody grab Councillor Langridge. Thank you. Okay, next, letter of support for Travel Alberta.
I can speak to that, Your Worships. In your package is a request from Kevin Kasilovich of Go East of Edmonton Regional Tourism. They're requesting the council provide a letter of support for their Travel Alberta Cooperative Investment Fund grant application for the Go East RTO Regional Tourism Development and Industry Support Initiative. If successful, the funds received will be used for new initiatives to grow tourism in our region, and our recommendation is that council provide that letter of support.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Councillor McAvoy? Okay, go ahead.
I think this is another good initiative and falls in line with our push towards tourism and recreation in this area, and I'd be willing to make the motion to provide the letter of support for the Goes East of Edmonton for their Travel Alberta Cooperative Investment Fund grant application.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? That's carried. All right, next request for decision, Jesse Lake tree lighting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The 2024 interim capital budget includes $20,000 for tree lighting along Jesse Lake. Administration recently reached out to our vendor regarding pricing and was told that pricing will increase anywhere from 5 to 11% depending on the product as of April 1st. The vendor will also provide a 10% discount on current pricing if the town places an order for the lights by March 13th. Lighting for 2024 was scheduled to be for Pontiac Park, which would have a total cost of $22,333. If we order by tomorrow, this cost will decrease to $20,099.67. There has been discussion about increasing this budget in 2024 from $20,000 to $40,000. Should council wish to increase the amount for tree lighting to $40,000, the funds could come from the street light reserve. Our recommendation is that council approve ordering lights for the tree lighting project for a total cost of $20,099.70 and approve a corresponding increase to the interim budget, whether it be the $20,099.70 or to $40,000.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Councillor Kushner? I'm sorry.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I know that we discussed this and we kind of forgot to put it into our budget, that we were going to move this up to $40,000. I think this is, this tree lighting project has been well received by the community, and I'd like to see it continue, as well as I would like to see us increase it to $40,000 rather than the $20,000 that we have in this one, and understanding that it'll come from the tree lighting budget. I can make that motion now unless somebody else has something else they'd like to say about it.
Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Question through to administration. It says here, if we go over the budget, the amount should finish the tree lighting at Pontiac Park. So it says finish the tree lighting, but then is that just at the park and we're looking at the additional amounts to be outside of the park?
Yes, this is an annual budgeted amount of $20,000 so we can light the trees along the trail. So this would finish Pontiac Park, but then we would include around the park as well, just branch it out a little bit.
Second question to that. We've also added brand new street lights or trail lights all the way down. Have we thought of, is it going to affect the look if we have everything lit up and then we're going to be putting more Christmas lights on the trees? I know the lights have just been turned on, so something that I'm not sure will have the same effect, but something to consider nonetheless.
Councillor McAvoy?
Further to this, with this motion to go to 40,000, is this a one-year thing that you're looking at, Councillor Kushner, or are you looking to increase the 40,000? I'm sorry. The increasing it to $40,000, is that, are you talking 1 year? And then $20,000 a year as we move forward to light the entire trail, or are you talking about increasing this to $40,000 a year every year?
The only thing that I'd be making the motion for would be this year. And then that discussion would be further on our next budget. Would be my opinion.
Thank you.
Councillor Johnson?
Or the effect of the lights with the street lights down there. When you look at City of Edmonton, different places like that do the tree lighting similar to that in their downtown cores with street lights, they still stand out quite nice. I'm not too afraid of it diminishing the effect. I think it'd still be fine because you see it in a lot of other municipalities, so I think it would still look good.
Councillor Kushner?
Yeah, one more comment on that. We actually, in the lights themselves, we have plugins at the top specifically for these lights to go forward. So we have power at each one of those lights to do something similar to this. So I think that was well thought out by administration to make sure that we have power that we can use away from those lights as well.
Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I guess through to administration, I'm unsure, as I'm looking at the request for decision, I see nothing about the 40,000. I'm just wondering, where did this number come from? I don't know where that, I know Councillor Kushner, your motion or your depending motion has 40,000, but I'm just confused where that number's coming from. I haven't heard 40,000 yet.
I can speak to that, Your Worship. So it was brought up before the council meeting that there's been some casual discussions amongst councillors about possibly upping
the trail lighting number to $40,000, and that this was going to come about during next month's budget deliberations before final budget. The reason the $20,000 is in front of you this evening, which is the amount that we have in the interim budget, is because of the time-sensitive nature of being offered a 10% discount on lighting purchases for this year. So the $40,000 idea just came up in discussions before this meeting. If council wants to consider that and take advantage of the 10% price break that expires tomorrow, that's fine. We'll proceed with putting either 20 or 40,000 in the final budget, depending on where the budget deliberations go after this.
Yes, Councillor Kushner?
I'd be prepared to make a motion that we approve ordering lights for the tree lighting project for a total cost of $40,000 and improve the corresponding increase in the interim capital budget.
I was just going to make a comment first, sorry. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I definitely want to see us continue with this project. I just feel like I'm the same with Councillor Langridge. I feel like all of a sudden $40,000, like kind of like, where did that come from? It would have been nice to have at least some sort of, you know, where is that money coming from? And I don't want to micromanage in a way, but it would be nice to flesh out or have an idea of, this is just for Pontiac Park, so we're going to be talking about doing a whole vision plan for that area. Now, where are those lights going to go? I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm happy we're doing it, but those are some of the questions I would like to see answered and brought before us before, you know, a number like that, like pretty much double what the request is, comes forward to us. Councillor Kushner?
I can give you, I have a little bit of background on that. The second,
That's okay.
the
No, you
second
don't have
part will
to.
be Lions Park, that area.
That's okay. Don't worry. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, but you do have a motion on the table. All right, any questions on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. That motion is denied. Okay. Yes?
Well, Your
You're
Worship,
gonna say?
I will
Oh,
give you a motion to approve the staff recommendation of $20,099.70.
okay. Councillor Johnson, were you going to say something? Okay, all right. All in favor? Opposed? Oh, Kayla, you're in favor? Councillor Blanchett? Yeah. Okay, so that one was carried. Thank you. All right. Request for donation, the Bonnyville Soccer Association.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is sponsorship request from Laura Phillips from the Bonnyville Soccer Association, requesting sponsorship to assist with the cost to attend the Tier 4 Indoor Alberta Soccer Provincial Tournament taking place this weekend in Edmonton, March 15th to 17th. There will be 5 Bonnyville soccer teams attending this tournament, including U13 boys, U15 girls, U15 boys, U17 girls, and U17 boys. In 2022, Council provided a total of $750 towards 3 various soccer teams, and then in 2023, Public Works helped to get their sprinkler system back up and running at the soccer field. Administration is recommending that Council approve a donation for the Bonnyville Soccer Association to attend the Alberta Soccer Provincial Tournament taking place in Edmonton in the amount of $250.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? No? Yeah, it's interesting as we continue to get these requests. You know, just going through the request form and based on, you know, the decisions that we've been making, like I find there's information on here that I would want answered before I made a commitment at a higher cost. For example, they talk about entry fees, like how much are the entry fees? You know, is it, who's paying them? I'm just talking out loud here, sorry. But those are the types of things I'm thinking of when I'm looking at this, as I mentioned, as we're getting more of these requests. And then I take a look at maybe some of the comparables. You know, we did the cheerleading ones, I think, at our last one. And we did $500, and I think that's where I would be comfortable sitting at for this request.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Councillor Schroon.
Yeah, based on the information, I'm prepared to make a motion that we give $500 to the Bonnyville Soccer Association to attend the soccer provincial tournament taking place in Edmonton. It does say on the request there that any amount would suffice, but then as we go down there, it says any monetary support you can provide. Other sources have given $500 per team. I'm prepared to give $500 for the entire request.
Okay. Any questions on the motion then? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Councillor Schroon. Okay, committee reports. We will start with Councillor Kushner, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. March 1st, we had the Alberta Council Budget Review. March 4th, Emergency Management Committee meeting. Again, on March 4th, we had a community policing meeting. On March 5th, the Health Gala sponsorship video. That went really well, I thought. And March 11th, I had a Municorps meeting yesterday. And that's all I have.
Excuse me. As well, on March 1st, I attended the Alberta Council Budget Review, and I did also log on to the Alberta Muni's Budget Review later that day. On March 4th, the Emergency Management Committee meeting. The 6th, the Library Board meeting. The 7th, I attended the Refocusing Healthcare in Alberta meeting. And March 11th, the Bonnyville Physicians Recruitment Committee meeting. And I also did the video.
Thank you. Councillor Blanchette?
Can you hear me okay?
You bet.
Okay. February 28th, I signed checks for Lakeland Lodge and Housing. February 29th, I met with the FCSS directors from Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and St. Paul as the regional representative for the FCSS Association. After that, I attended a Resilience Builders webinar that came from AB Munis on emergency preparedness, and that was put on by AEMA. March 1st, the Alberta Council webinar on Provincial Budget 2024. March 4th, again, as the regional representative for the FCSS Association, I attended a meeting with MLA Sear, along with the board representatives and directors of the FCSS programs in our constituency. And we had a lot of discussion about the centralization of government support services, and specifically how that model really doesn't serve rural communities very well. So our FCSS programs are going to be providing some specific data to the MLA to take back to government, and I will report back on that as the conversation evolves. March 5th, also attended a town office with the rest of council for that little media blitz we did. March 6th, FCSS AA Policy Committee meeting, followed by an events committee meeting. March 7th, I attended a collaborative discussion between Lakeland Lodge and Housing, Covenant Health, and the regional municipal partners, followed by a tour of Bonnie Lodge. It's really productive, left that discussion with some actionable items and some hope that in the not so distant future, we can work together to offer a higher level of care at the lodge. And then March 10th to the 13th, I am with Councillor Sharoon in Calgary for the annual Alberta Seniors and Community Housing Association convention, and I will report back on that when it has concluded and we are back. That's all for me.
Excellent. Thank you very much. For myself, on February 29th, continue to have conversation with the hospital administrator and the daycare manager, but it's really led by the hospital, looking at options to provide childcare for healthcare workers just because their hours are earlier and later, how can we accommodate? So we're having those conversations. March 1st, I attended the 2024 budget review by Alberta Council. And then on March 4th, we had the emergency management, just a follow-up meeting in regards to the functional exercise. And then on March 7th was a full day of healthcare and rural healthcare as I went to the workshop by AHS on refocusing our healthcare. Then at noon, we hosted Covenant Health of Bonny Lodge to discuss opportunities to be able to collaborate and offer a higher level of care at the lodge. And then on March 7th, also had a healthcare meeting that was put on by MLA Sear. He had doctors and mayors from the region, from Lac La Biche, St. Paul, Elk Point, Cold Lake, just to have a higher level conversation to bring the MLA up to speed on where our healthcare is, where the needs are, and where he can hopefully help us. And then on March 11th, I had a physician recruitment and retention meeting. That's it for me. Councillor Schroen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good evening, everyone. On the 28th, 29th, and March 1st, I attended the Alberta Care Conference in Camrose, along with the many sessions that were held throughout the day. One in particular, the EPR program. Seems like we're full steam ahead on that, and they should be reaching out to our Public Works Department on that. I also attended some tours. There was a poly-ag recycling tour. They actually come out to the MD of Bonnyville and take all the bags that the bales are stored in and take them out there to recycle. We toured the whole plant and the different pellet sizes and what they're used for. That was quite interesting. We also had a tour of the Camrose landfill along with the County of Camrose landfill. And we went to their central cam deposit in Camrose where they have all the cardboards and glass and plastics. That was interesting as well. On the way home, I listened to the Alberta Council budget review. On the 5th of March, I attended the media blitz for the hospital gala. On the 7th, along with some councillors, also attended the Covenant Health discussing the next level of care. A lot of that same discussions are carrying on to the convention here. And again, the tour of Bonny Lodge was excellent and well received by Linda Chow. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I'm also attending with Councillor Blanchette the 59th Annual Home for Housing Convention here in Calgary. Again, a lot of good information, lots of changes, some good changes coming along with the extra monies that we've received. And a lot of discussion about the continuing care. More to follow late at our next council meeting, but just the demographics of the aging population in the next 10 to 20 years is quite staggering, and are we prepared for it or not? So that's all for my reports, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On March the 1st, attended the Alberta Council review of the Alberta budget. On March 4th, met with the police committee. On March the 5th, we had the photo opportunity with the Health Foundation, along with the library meeting that evening. On March 6th, I had an events committee meeting in the afternoon, and then attended on your behalf the credit union AGM in Cold Lake. On Thursday, March 7th, I had to meet up with the Regional Sports and Tourism Committee to sign the papers to officially get the society up and running. So we're moving along on that. That's all for me.
All right, February 28th, I attended the Alberta Council Spring Session Kickoff in Edmonton. March the 1st, I was in council chambers with the rest of council for the Alberta Council budget review. March the 5th, I was also here for the Health Gala Media Blitz. And March the 6th, we had a events committee meeting. That's all for me.
right, excellent. Okay, so now we're going to go on to correspondence. First up, we have a letter from Minister of Municipal Affairs, just sharing information about the budget that was just released. In particular, talking about the baseline funding for LGFF at $722 million. And then, in the same vein, received a letter from MLA Scott Sear, just making us aware of some of the latest developments and commitments under the 2024 budget for the Lakeland area, which includes additional funding at $128,000 for Bonnyville's 50th Avenue curb and gutter improvements. Next, we have a letter from Municipal Affairs, just inviting municipalities to take part in a conversations and review of the intermunicipal collaboration framework. And then I wanted just to bring to council's attention the news release coming out of the city of Cold Lake in regards to the provincial budget shortfall. In particular, the no funding earmarked for Highway 28, which we've been lobbying for the last couple of years. So I thought it was important that we shared that with council. Next, a letter from the Cold Lake First Nations in regards to the planned expansion at Casino Dene, which will add around 6,000 square feet to their current footprint and roughly 20,000 square feet. Oh, we'll add around, yeah, to 20,000, sorry, yes. Okay. Next, letter from the Municipal Affairs asking for submissions for the 2024 Ministers Award and Public Library Excellence. So if we feel that there's anything that we want to submit a letter for, I guess we can have a conversation with the CAO about that. And then the memorandum in regards to our 2024 municipal census. Does anybody want to speak on that? I think we're good. Just an update. Okay, thank you. And then Appendix A, as always, our council receptions and public relations up to date to March 7th. Are there any questions for administration? No? Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Schroon? No? All right, we have one item in camera. If I can get a motion, please. Councillor Johnson.
I'll make the motion to go in camera.
Thank you. All in favor?